All right. Hello, everyone. Market this week for the week ended Friday the 13th. Nothing spooky about that, but congratulations because our very own Nifty index hits a new life high. This is in front of you the weekly chart of the spot Nifty. Two consecutive weeks of gains helps the index bounce back to a new high. If you can recall, when we started this market this week section, we were anticipating a double top kind of a formation, which was looking like an Adam and Eve. And the call was that it needs to break this lows, and if it sustains below that, you have a double top in hand. Now, those who anticipated that yes, this is a double top and it's going to crash, I'm sure they've got squeezed, and the market has sharply bounced back. This sharp bounce back is more clear if we come down to the daily chart and see how uh, it actually bounced back so sharply, and the shorts actually did not get much chance um, to actually cover or take some small losses. I think it kept on dragging further up. It kept on making this small doji kind of candlesticks, and you would anticipate that here it falls, tomorrow it's going to fall, and it never actually came. So essentially, the index is in an uptrend across all time frames. We are in a bull market. I have, though, very early signs of possible top when I look into the monthly chart. It's too early to comment on it right now. As I record this on the 15th of October, I have another 15 days to go this month. But there are early signs where I see my short-term Bollinger Band overshooting my long-term Bollinger Band. Um, the trend is intact, and the indicators below over here are suggesting there is a faint possibility. Confirmation definitely comes when this month's low, which is 9775, is breached. As of now, no signs of a confirmed top yet. We are in a high momentum move, and I sense that the index will further extend this on the upside this week. Please keep in mind that coming week we have our Diwali holidays, which is one of the biggest festival in India, and we have a truncated week of trading, only Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, just the 3 days. Let me show you something really interesting now. This is the 1 week performance of the sectors. Tops Nifty Infra. Come over here. The third one is the Nifty Private Bank. Right? It was up 2.5%. Interesting. This is the weekly chart of the Nifty Private Bank, almost inching close to its life high. Now, if I sort this column and see the biggest loser last week, it's the Nifty PSU banks. Clearly, there's a divergence. Clearly, uh, there is a sign that the PSU banks are dragging the Bank Nifty, which is clearly visible if I show you the Bank Nifty chart. And this is a weekly chart of Bank Nifty, and it is not very close to its life high, though it's moved fairly well. But it is this section of the banking stocks, the PSU section, which is a big drag. And amongst the big drag is one of the biggies, the State Bank of India. It's coming close to its very crucial medium-term supports, which is close to that December 16 lows. It was also tested multiple times in October 16. So this level of 240 and 245, 250. So let's say the 240, 250 band is kind of extremely crucial for this stock. And this is one big banking stock within the PSU sector, which has dragged the PSU banking stocks as well as the Bank Nifty. On the other hand of the spectrum, it has been HDFC Bank and Kotak Bank, the private sector banks, which have actually performed really well and helped the Bank Nifty not fall relatively compared to how it has performed. This is the chart of HDFC Bank, a nice breakout that we see on Friday's trade. High chances that it's going to extend further up. And so we see a nice move in Kotak Bank as well. Nice move over here. When I'm talking about HDFC Bank, this is something I noticed today evening. The HDFC Bank monthly charts is also showing some early signs of a top out. Again, same as I mentioned in Nifty, not confirmed yet, but there's a possibility that HDFC Bank can probably find some resistance at it as it goes close to that 1900 mark. Now, the sector that did really well is infra, followed by IT. I'll touch base upon both of this. Infra is a sector, I have the the constituents open over here, has a lot of stocks which are into infrastructure, and there are few stocks which are into telecom. So Bharti Airtel was a big mover, up 12%. Turn on a dime move completely. This is a weekly chart of Bharti Airtel. It's gone back to its previous high. What I like and don't like about the telecom stocks is the telecom stocks have not been performing at all for a very long time. But amongst the telecom stocks, if one has to actually perform really well and buck the trend and be an outperformer for the next 3 to 5 years, I think Bharti Airtel stands the best chance. This is the quarterly chart of Bharti Airtel, and I see a huge consolidation. And this huge consolidation is from 2007 all the way till 2017. So we have a 10-year-old sabbatical. It's 10-year-old consolidation where prices essentially have traded in a range, and now it's on the verge of a breakout. So I'm sure that if this breakout happens and if it manages to sustain, then Bharti Airtel is one stock that is definitely worth holding in your portfolio for a long-term perspective. Let's quickly look at the other stocks which make up the infra index. Adani Ports, all right, nothing that. Adani Power, these are all the weekly charts which are flat. I showed you Bharti. BHEL in a downtrend across all time frames. Looks like it's going to weaken further. CSA is slow and steady, going fine. CG Power, nothing. Container Corp, definitely another stock which is on my radar, which looks really good when I look at the quarterly or the monthly charts. Daily charts is on the verge of a breakout. It's just given a breakout on Thursday. Friday, it was completely flat. But this is one stock which can give a move the first half of this week as well. Engineers India, flat again. GMR, nothing in it. Idea, please, I don't sense that Idea or Arcom actually has that kind of support from the trend which Bharti has. So much better pick would be Bharti. Indico bounces back to my moving average band. It's in a downtrend. It's actually nicely placed for a dip. So I'll be closely watching Indigo this week. Probably I'll get a landing and this stock can actually come down. Infratel, linked to the Bharti, so this stock also performs really well last week. So essentially amongst these stocks, it is Bharti Airtel which actually led the Nifty Infra Index become the highest gainer last week. We've been talking continuously in our market this week's section about the IT stocks. Now, IT has given a nice move thanks to stocks like HCL Tech. We've been talking about this stock. This is a monthly chart. Nice pinch on the long-term Bollinger Bands. Amazing move, and I sense that this stock is likely to outperform the rest for quite some time going ahead. Another one is really interesting is TCS. Look at the way TCS is consolidating after a big run. The daily chart of TCS shows one-way 6-7 days move, and it's given a nice breakout. So I sense that IT, which was under the shadows for quite some time, is trying its best to come out of the shadows and actually try and show that, okay, we are back performing ourselves. And the leaders amongst them would be HCL Tech, TCS, and not to forget our very old Tech Mahindra. Slow and steady, it's been inching slowly up. What about Infosys? How can we talk about IT without talking about Infosys? Infosys is still little wobbly. It is not sure about what kind of direction it's going to head. When I look at the weekly or the monthly charts, I'm not very convinced. I do find a range shift in my momentum indicators, which suggests that yes, it's coming down, but chances are it's going to go up. That's why it's coming down. But I don't have any confirmation. So I do not have that confidence. And that's why any trade in Infosys is going to be short-lived. On the other hand, I think HCL Tech, Tech Mahindra, TCS, and also let's look at Wipro are relatively much better off. If I have to pick one, I will definitely go with HCL Tech. Wipro, keep a close watch for a breakout above this level of 300. We did talk about few banks last week. I got a couple of messages where you appreciated our market this week section. Thank you. And wanted to know more about ICICI Bank. Definitely one stock to keep a watch this week. I sense that amongst the private sector banks, which is performing, ICICI Bank is like a black sheep, and I think it will try its best to bounce back this week. Very close watch on that. Even from a medium to long-term point of view, these levels are really attractive enough to accumulate this quality stock in your portfolio. From a short-term point of view, I am looking at strength breakout from stocks like IGL. I sense that the stock, which is in an uptrend across all time frames, is likely to give a move on the upside. I'm also looking this week at a stock called Bajaj Auto. nice uptrend, higher highs, higher lows formation, test my moving averages, and I sense that likely breakout is going to come when it takes out that 3180 mark on the upside in the spot. And the another stock, little speculative, in fact a little more speculative, is that of Jubilant Food. Jubilant Food is another stock which is in a range. It's kind of a flag and it's likely to give me a breakout. I have a move above last Friday's high of around 1537. I guess that this move is likely to extend further on the upside. Right, with that, thank you for supporting Market This Week section. Hopefully these videos are useful to you. I will be working further to make them more concrete. Keep the suggestions and feedback flowing. Like always, trade well, trade wise. Thank you.